Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. My name is Adam Beasy with PC Cleared Computers and Games, and tonight we're going to do a unboxing of sorts. Let me clear a little bit of room on the table here. Okay, we're going to do this unboxing later. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to unbox the Warhammer 40,000 Cadia Stands box set. This came out a little while ago. Here's the back of it. Get you a good picture of it. There we go. You get all kinds of goodies in there and stuff like that. You get tons of miniatures. A really good way to start an Imperial Guard force. If you don't know what Warhammer 40,000 is, it's basically a war game where you fight, a miniature war game, where you fight in the 40th century, pretty much. And the Imperial Guard have a special place in the world because they are technically the only humans in the world of Warhammer 40,000, pretty much. I removed the codex from the box. Codex is kind of like your army list. It tells you what your army can do, the units that your army can be comprised of, and things like that. So the front of it, you know, Lord Solaris, kind of neat on horseback. Kind of neat to think that in the world of Warhammer 40,000 they still use horses, even though that looks to be like a mechanical one. And here we have a tank called Rogel Dorn. Nice tank. Even though the Imperial Guard are in a galaxy full of aliens and bugs and xenos and heretics and everything like that that want to kill everything that moves, each other and everything that moves, the Imperial Guard really have some special things that make them unique to the Warhammer 40,000 world. This codex is absolutely beautiful. The way it's laid out. Get some glare on it there. Here we go. The art that's in the book is beautiful. The way the army is laid out is great. It looks like they're actually giving some guard units a little bit of love here, besides just the Cadian shock troops. One of the big things about the Imperial Guard is their armor units. Because if you're just made of soft, squishy meat, you want to protect yourself as much as possible. And one of the ways that the Guard does that is through the tanks that it has. You have troop transports like the Chimera here. The Guard themselves have all types of like neat equipment and stuff like that. This right here is called a Voxcaster. It allows communications between the units of the Imperial Guard, which that comes in handy later. The Imperial Guard have all kinds of like heavy weapons and artillery batteries and stuff like that that they can use. Again, this book is just, I could spend an hour talking about how great this book is. The art in this book is great. The miniatures are painted to a standard that I could never achieve. Believe that. I think very few people can achieve that. This is the Imperial Guard fighting the Tyranids. If you don't know who the Tyranids are, think of Starship Troopers, pretty much, and you got what the Tyranids are. All right. We got the rules section here. Now, one of the things that really makes the Guard is their ability for their commanders to communicate with like frontline troops or other squads of troops. So they can issue what's called orders, which gives that unit a special thing to do every turn. For example, there is a order called move, 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 which if you execute that order on this unit, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but if you can execute that unit on that, if you execute that order on that unit, it lets them move a little further across the battlefield. Maybe move them to cover or something like that. There's another one called first rank fire, second rank fire, which means that your weapons do fire a little more effectively. Things like that. And then they have another type of order called a mechanized order, which is for armor and tanks and stuff like that. We're talking about the tanks of the Imperial Guard. They really didn't give us a good picture of like a Lehman Russ or anything like that, or did I skip over it? Let me see, showcase. This is page 40. We saw the Rogel Dorn, but and then they have something better than a. Yeah, they're trying to pimp the Rogel Dorn in this, which is okay. I'm trying to find a good picture of something here. I can't seem to find it, but. Oh, no love for the Lehman Russ, huh? Maybe they got a picture of one in the. Okay, and then we'll look at the sprues and everything like that. This gives you all the stats of the units and stuff for your army as well. So you know their stats and what they're armed with and what those weapons can do, so on and so forth. Really trying to find a. There we go. Here's a unit of Death Corps Krieg. They're an army. They're an Imperial Guard army. Each Imperial Guard army has a little bit of different background to them. Death Corps Krieg is awesome. The Cadia Jungle Fighters are awesome. Cadian Shock Troopers are awesome. And those are just a few of the actual units in there. Depending on the edition of Warhammer you're playing, depends on how developed the other Imperial Guard armies are. In 3rd edition, they kind of went a little nuts with things, which is okay. But then they just boiled it down to Cadians and Cadians only. I don't believe we do not have a good picture of a Lehman Russ. Lehman Russ is kind of like the mainstay of the battle tanks for the Imperial Guard. It has a lot of different variants to it, which means there's different turrets and side weapons and things of that nature that you can put on there. That's a good picture. I like that. The artwork in this is just phenomenal. It's really, really nice. Look at that. Holding the orc head. That's pretty cool too. Trying. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. There's some cool tanks of the Imperial Guard. I believe those are all Lehman Russ tanks or variants of the Lehman Russ, except for the one in the back here. That's actually, I think that's a Hydra anti-aircraft tank, which uses a different chassis. No, it uses it uses a different chassis than the Lehman Russ does. Then you have the super heavy tanks, which are great tanks to use. They're bigger than anything we currently have in the real world. But that's just a brief rundown of the codex. I mean, there is like the codex itself is like 150 pages. There's no way I can go over all of it in one video. There's a picture of a Baneblade. Baneblade is a super heavy tank, and it has about 5 or 6 variants to it as well. Different options, different roles that it plays. For instance, where is the... Got the Hillhammer Stormlord. Shadow Sword tank. This is one of my favorite variants. That's for bringing down, like, Titans and stuff like that. Let me get it in frame better. That would be for taking down, like, Titans and things like that. That cannon on there just does massive, massive damage. Volcano Cannon is what it's called. It's a strength 18, -5 armor piercing, 12 damage weapon. Crazy stuff. Alright, let's look at the miniatures here. If I slide open the box that I showed you at the beginning of the video, right here, Cadia Stands. Yeah. I'm going to slide the slip cover off the box. Okay, we're going to see the Cadia banner. There we go, the back of the box there. Let's open this guy up. I wish it opened up like a flip type lid, but it doesn't. I got to open up one end of it here, and then you got to slide yet another tray out here. There we go. And this is where we have the actual miniatures that come with the box set. They give you nice assembly instructions. These are some of the best assembly instructions I've ever seen from a Games Workshop product. Back in the day, the assembly instructions were a little vague and everything, and I think Games Workshop has, accepted the fact, and they've changed their stuff accordingly. They've changed their directions accordingly for the better. Shows you how to make them, shows you the variants that you can use. For instance, if you don't want to make a guardsman with like a Laws gun, you can make a guardsman with a melta gun, a grenade launcher, a flamer, that type of thing. It's funny how they put flamer in pink. But anyway, alright, so... And they give you the selling instructions for the weapons platforms and things of that nature as well. Because you do get, what do you get? You get two of the weapons platforms in here, right? You get, two ordnance teams. A Sentinel, a Cadian Command Squad, and 20 Cadian Shock Troops, which is a good way to start off your Imperial Guard army, or add to an army if you already have one. And the sprues are just like you'd expect, standard Games Workshop gray plastic. Very nice. They give you tons of variant heads and torsos and stuff like that. Really, really nice. I think this would be... Oh, they got two connected together here like they normally do. This would be for the command squad. That's the banner. Which I think the banner gives you special rules. You can look that up in the codex if you have it. That must be the Sentinel sprue. Yeah, it's the Sentinel sprues right here. I think you can either make a normal Sentinel or an armored Sentinel with the pieces they give you here. Or you can magnetize it, of course. That's always an option. Maybe I'll do an assembly video for some of these squads here. And a painting tutorial, as well as I can paint. I'm not, like Michelangelo or anything like that as far as my miniature painting goes. But I like to think I can hold my own. There's a great picture here. The only thing I don't like about this is the sprues puncture the art. And you got a Catachan jungle fighter with a bolter fighting a chaos demon. That kind of looks like a bloodthirster, but that's not an axe. So I don't think that's a bloodthirster. A bloodletter, maybe? Yeah, maybe a bloodletter, I'm gonna say. Because it has the skulls and stuff like that on it. And the horns. But, not stereotyping. No, not stereotyping. Here we have the Imperial Guard Lord on the horse. I don't know if I'm getting that. I feel like I'm at WWE now with a sign. Anyway. Stuff. Put that over there. And of course, we got all the bases and things like that they give you. Something I always liked about Games Workshop is the bases that you get. You get two big bases for the weapons platform, for the ordnance team, or the weapons platforms. You get one for the Sentinel. This is for the Imperial Guard troops. And this would be for the command squad. You get decals. You probably can't see that too well because they're white on a light blue, but you do get decals, water transfers, whatever you wish to call them. And you have the deck of cards here. Official name of these is Astra Militarum Data Cards. And you can crack these open. Kind of looks like a pack of cigarettes, doesn't it? But it's not. And this gives you all the stratagems and stuff like that that you can use. Here we go. Battlefield Surgery. The tough and no-nonsense combat medics of the Astra Militarum have dragged screaming soldiers back into service time and time again, telling them that the Emperor is not ready for them that day. Use this stratagem in your command phase. Select one Astra Militarum medic unit from your army that is below its starting strength and not within engagement range of any enemy units. Up to D3 destroyed models can be added back to that unit with their full, excluding officer models. I guess who's gonna tend to an officer, right? Can be added back to that unit with their full units remaining. That costs you a command point. And this just gives you the orders that we were talking about earlier on as well. War Gear Stratagem, a Meltamine. Artillery Strike requested. That's kind of neat. That's a strategy. Ranking artillery officers feed targeting information to distant ordnance crews, calling upon them to deliver deadly munitions. See, again, it's all about that communication that the Guard have that can really turn the tide of battle for the Astra Militarum. They used to be called Imperial Guard back when I played a lot, so I refer to them as Imperial Guard. Lots of times I actually called Games Workshop one time, and I mentioned Imperial Guard, and I was quickly corrected that they are Astra Militarum. Get all the stuff back in the box here. Anyway, that was the unboxing of the Cadia Stands. Comment. Let me know what you think. If you like the content, like the video. And if you want to see more content from me, subscribe to my channel. Alright? Thank you for watching my video. Have a great night. And I do look forward to doing some of these miniatures. Putting them together and whatnot. And like I said, maybe painting them. You know, make YouTube videos out of that as well. The only thing, my only negative thing about this set is they put the codex in with the sprues. And so my codex has a little ding right here in the corner where it rubbed up against the sprue and everything. But it's no big deal to me. I mean, you know, the book is nice, but, you know, it's going to get beat up when you play. So, that's about all I got to say. Have a great night. Thank you for watching my video.